Once we have our slice options defined, it's then time to use Photoshop's tools to turn this into something that can be used to produce our web asset. To do this, we use Photoshop's File and Save for Web and Devices option. Once the Web and Devices Save For panel is open, you'll see that, again, like with many of other Photoshop's dialogues, there's a huge amount of choices to be made. First thing you'll notice is a small toolbar down the left here. The only two tools that we're really going to be using are the Pan tool and the Slice tool. We'll select the Pan tool, and that allows us to move around our graphic and observe that we can see all our slices laid out at 100% view as it will be produced when the final output is created. We can go to our Slice Select tool, and we can then select our individual slices and make changes to the settings on those slices. For example, if we select a button here, we can change its output graphic to GIF, JPEG, PNG or WBMP. For our purposes, we're simply just going to save everything with the same settings. So we'll click Save, and then from here we'll select HTML and images because we want Photoshop to produce some HTML code for us, and we'll select all slices. We'll also change our settings to Other, and that will bring this dialog up, which allows us to fine-tune our output. Now, from this menu, we want to produce HTML, and we want to produce XHTML. This will produce very well-defined, semantically correct HTML. Even though it's not for HTML5 and for HTML4, it will ensure that all tags are closed, and it will ensure that various bits and pieces that the HTML5 specification requires are adhered to. Following that, we'll then switch to the Slices tab, and we'd like to generate our output as CSS divs referenced by the ID that we provided when we defined the slice options. You'll also see in this bottom half here that we can alter various bits and pieces to give various sections of the slice names various attributes. So we can put things like the size in there, the name of the file, the name of the image option that was defined. For us, the defaults are good enough. We'll then switch to background, and we'll make sure that nothing's filled in there, as we're not using a background image, and, well, we're not really going to select a matte either. If, however, you were mounting this onto a solid colour that had transparent regions, and that you had transparent regions within your image, then you may want to select a colour from this matte menu just to make sure that there's no ugly fringes or edges around your image. Lastly, we'll change the saving files, and then we'll set various options for outputting our assets onto disk. Particularly, we'll make sure that any imagery produced from this operation is put into a folder called Images alongside the HTML output that's produced. Once we've set our options, all we have to do then is click Save, and Photoshop will create a HTML file and a set of images ready for us to start playing with.